So I'm here because I'm a certified grief counselor and a chaplain. And what I typically do, just to give you a little bit of background on what I do, I service families and patients as they are going through the journey of someone transitioning, which is someone dying in the family. Just want to make sure that we embrace this moment. I want to talk about grief. I want to talk about the different types of grief. I want to talk about colors. We're going to share what you think these colors represent. And then if you notice that you have a blank canvas, and today you're going to paint your heart. I can't trace your heart apart, pre-trace one for you, because guess what? I don't know how your heart feels. I want you to embrace this moment. I want you to be honest with yourself. One thing about grief is that it's not just death, but it's also the transitioning from one place to another place. It's financial, it's relationships, it's divorce, it's marriage. It could be singleness. It could be whatever it is that's causing a conflict. It could be even the losing self-confidence, losing how to make the right decisions. It's so many things. So there's grief, and then there's secondary losses that spin off of grief. So let me just talk about the normal grief. The normal common grief is the typical grief that we just go through every day. It's the grieving process. It's the universal state, which is, it encompasses everything. It's that normal grief that it may be a roller coaster ride. One moment you may be happy, one moment you may be sad, one moment you may be depressed, one moment you just may be all out of sorts. It's the saying, I don't want to get up, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to go out the house, I just want to be by myself. And that's the typical stages of grief that can come. Anticipatory grief. Grief before you find out what's going to happen. So say for instance, it's that anticipatory grief as you're waiting on something, or waiting on those end results, waiting on to see what's going to happen. So that's the anticipatory grief. Then there's something that's called absent grief. Absent grief is when a person may die in someone's family, and then all of a sudden there's a funeral that takes place. They may cry a little, and then that person goes on like nothing ever happened. That means that person says, I choose not to sit there. I don't want to sit in it. I don't want to embrace it. I just have to go on. So those are just some examples of the different types of grief that we face in our lives that no one ever knew. And so now when you're feeling a certain way, no matter what it is, again, like I said, it does not have to be death, but how you feel at a certain point in your life, now you can identify and you can place a word with it. Like, be able to identify with how we're feeling and our emotions. And it's so important when we are feeling these different feelings to feel the different feelings. It's important to go through the emotions. And guess what? It's okay to grieve. To treat each other. We know how to be in a space with one another. And we know some of the colors that people like, what they've been through, what they've recently gone through. But just be respectful of each other's journey. Y'all, I thank y'all for this time. I thank y'all for being present, embracing the space.